and agencies, the county governments, and it is really music to my ears to hear my successor now, Honorable Duale, really emphasizing that tree planting is not the preserve of this ministry. It is for each and every individual Kenyan. And the success of this program, which is a life and death for us as a climate mitigation action, the success lies with each and every one of us taking personal responsibility, from our children in schools and Kenyans of all walks of life. Since the inauguration or commissioning of the program in 2022 December, you will all bear me witness that we have planted millions and millions of trees. We have had records from the 2 tree growing holidays, where Kenyans went out and really did exemplary action in terms of coming to the front line of tree planting. The 400 million that Waziri has spoken about is what we have in our application, the Jaza Miti application. But by all means, that's not the total number of trees that have been planted. We can only speak of what we have on record. And one thing that Waziri is aware is for us to really stretch our records to the limits so that we can have a real-time recording from individual Kenyans of each and every tree planted. So on the record, we have the 400 million, but by all means, we have many millions of trees that are not in our records. Also, we have a periodic assessment of our forest reference levels, which should be coming soon. And that is the comprehensive appraisal of our tree cover and our forest cover. And that is when we shall know what movement we have made once we do that comprehensive assessment. And the other thing we have been working on to ensure we have a continuous and real-time recording is to take our Jaza Miti application. It is currently domiciled at Carefree in a very small department. We need to bring it to the DRSRS level, the Directorate of Remote Sensing and Survey, so that it's a national tool that then can also have a high resolution capturing of our tree growing activities, so that we can be able to take count. So one of the handing over notes to Waziri is really for us to work on that real-time reporting. But by all means, the 400 million is not the totality of the trees planted in the country.
Is why do we have 15 billion? We are having 15 billion because currently our forest tree cover is 12.3%. And we need to take it to 30% by 2032. So we'll do whatever it takes. And other countries, our neighborhood, have done it. We do whatever it takes as government to make sure that from our wetlands, from restoring our forests, planting more trees, we will. And also increase our forest cover from 8.3% to a higher percentage. On the question of riparian, the laws are very, very clear. We will act within the law. And citizens, laws are meant for citizens and for governments to run the business on behalf of the citizens. So you cannot build on riparian row, you cannot farm on riparian section. The meters, the length are all very, very clear. So there are a number of things we're going to do. And part of dealing with the Nairobi rivers and make sure our rivers are very clean is first to remove all the dam sites along Nairobi rivers. So I think the governor of Nairobi must listen to me and must listen to me very, very carefully. He must listen to me. We can't have our cake and eat it. If we have to clean those rivers, then we must remove all the dam sites along those rivers. I saw part of the brief I was given was how asbestos is still in use, mainly in 3 or 4 ministries, and it's good the Minister for Defense is here. Asbestos causes lung cancer. We can't wait. We have this ministry has given some 3, 4 ministries: Ministry of Defense, Ministry of Interior, Ministry of Education, because there are a number of schools, Ministry of Health, there are a number of hospitals, there are many private buildings that have asbestos. Let me make it very clear. By December, they must remove it. And I'll take a cabinet memo by December. In fact, the first thing I'll do when I go to office this afternoon is to write to those entities. They need to look for budget. They need to work with the NEMA and agree on how they're going to dispose those asbestos in a very secure, healthy environment. I mean, we can't be a very responsible government where we have our children learning under asbestos, our patients sleeping under asbestos roof, our own security men and women in their barracks using asbestos. I think that is very irresponsible. That's very reckless on the part of government. So Waziri, by Friday you'll have a letter, and you must. And right now, when I join you at the DOD, because it was a pending issue, I'll tell the people that they must give you budget, and you look for NEMA and the PS Environment and the men and women who are in charge, so at least we sitting here on this table can say that we have removed asbestos. The way you remove the plastic bags, at least by 80%. Today, I think there are many countries that are proud of Kenya. So there are many things we are going to do. We will clean the environment. The noise pollution in our estates, where sick people, children going to school. NEMA, you have to change. NEMA has to change. NEMA has to enforce. They have the enforcement powers within the law. Where people are building tall buildings, and then you have a building which has no access to the sun, has no access to fresh air. I mean, there must be proper planning of cities in our. We must introduce the coding of the proper coding of the waste that we dispose between the organic, the dry, the wet. So I think we will pick from where Waziri Muchuki, my very, very good friend, I served with him. He was among the elders that I served with in Parliament many years ago. So he was remembered for many things. Our matatus, our transport system must have bins inside the matatu. Nobody should have the privilege to throw litters anywhere he wants. I mean, sometimes I walk in Karura Forest, and there's a very good way of, you can't just throw the bottle of water you are drinking when you're walking in Karura Forest. And that was done, something done between the Community Forest Association, Friends of Karura, and the Kenya Forest Service. So we can do that, and we will protect all our forests, all our wetlands, all our riparians, and above all, the Nairobi River Commission. The Nairobi rivers must be a reality. We must have a river that flows where you can drink the water. Thank you very much, good people.